You're probably not charging enough, and let's figure out what we should be charging and why. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Neil Winterig, joined as always by Dr. Greg Winterig, CEO of Matterhorn Business Development and author of the book Fun at Work. So today's topic comes from us being in the field and working with our clients, because every week we come across new problems and new situations. And today I want to talk to you about if you are undercharging for your services. Now, the reason I talk about that is most people look at it and they go, well, I probably need to charge more, or I don't know if I'm charging enough, but there's a way to tell if you're charging enough or not. And that is, how do you feel after the sale? How do you feel after the client pays you money? Do you feel good, or do you think, man, I got a lot of work to do and I'm only getting paid this much? Because there's a big difference there between getting paid, knowing you're gonna help your client, and then getting paid and looking at the check and thinking how much work you have to do and how it doesn't quite stack up.
Well, and after being in business for 40 years, there's definitely a point where you know you're going to lose money. You just made the sale, you know you just added work, and you're looking at what you're gonna get paid for it. And if there's not enough profit in it that's going to benefit you and your family and your business, you're going to go, oh, wow, I'm overwhelmed. I'm working too hard. This is going to cost me another 5 hours a week for the next 5 weeks. But if you charge what it's worth and then you're excited about the sale, you go, you know what? I'm going to have to put an extra 5 hours a week. But by golly, at the end of that, I'm going to have an extra $5,000, so it's worth it. And so there's this price point where if your price is taking the fun out of doing the job, if the price that you're getting paid, if the fee that you're receiving for the service or product, all of a sudden is not looking like any fun, your fees are too low.
That's right, because you should be accepting the money, excited about what you're gonna be able to do with that client. But when your attention goes straight to the money and how much you did or didn't make, then all of a sudden, your relationship with the client is actually soured a little bit. Not actually between you, but in your mind, it's kind of like, man, now I gotta go do this and I only got paid $100 for it. It's not exciting. But if I paid you $500 to do it, you'd probably be really excited. That means you're not actually charging enough. Now, you might not be charging enough because you need more money and you've got bills. You might not be charging enough because you know you're worth more and it's a personal pride point. This is sort of how I work, as I operate really greatly on the pride of what I deliver. And if I ever reach a point where all of a sudden what I'm delivering and the amount of money I'm getting is off balance, then I know it's time to raise my price, because you should feel excited about signing up a new client. You should be excited about selling your items or your products. And I think that that's what people lose focus on when it comes to how much should I charge.
And I'll give you an example. So we have monthly mentoring clients once a month, every other week, or weekly. And so we have a client who is every other week, and we charge, I don't know, by industry standards, I think we're charging double what other coaches or mentors or consultants charge. And I got a text message from a client who was completely despondent at 6 o'clock last Sunday, 6 p.m. on Sunday. I just finished dinner and I'm getting this text and she's upset. And so I'm like, can you talk? And she called me and I was on the phone with her for an hour. This is on Sunday night. And when I hung up, I felt really good about it. I really helped her. She was on vacation for a few more days. She was about to have a ruined vacation. But I'm like, you know what, dang it, she's paying me a lot of money. I have no problem tossing this in on a Sunday night.
Nope.
I've talked to clients 10 o'clock. I was on the phone last night at 9 p.m. with a former client who right now the restaurant is closed and cannot afford me. And I was on the phone with him for 45 minutes last night. And so the bottom line here is you need to feel good, like there's a fair exchange going back and forth. It will build up resentment for you having to work harder if you're not getting enough compensation back in exchange for that. And I think that's the point you're trying to make here.
Yeah, and especially when you know that you should be charging more, that's when it hurts even more. And that's when you feel worse about what it is that you're doing. And I think the number one question I get from people is how much should I be charging?
Yep.
I'd say 80% of the people I talk to know that their fees are too low.
As soon as they ask that question.
Yeah.
As soon as they ask that question.
How much should I be charging?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I talk to people all the time and I go, hey, tell me about it, what it is that you do. And they go, oh yeah, and this is how it works. And I go, you're not charging enough. Like first thing I'm like, I don't even need to know your business to know that you are not charging enough money. And people are like, yeah, I kind of know that already. You know, it's like,
Yep.
You cannot go down that path of resentment.
So you have to be charging enough, your fees have to be high enough, so you actually feel good about the next customer, the next sale, the next service that you just closed, the next proposal that got accepted. You're excited about it. Not excited because, whoa, this is how I'm going to pay the rent on Friday that's, 3 months past due. No, you're actually excited about delivering the service, and you're excited about what you're going to get at the end in exchange for that. And so for me, that's the tipping point, that you have to feel good about what you're delivering and good about what you're receiving. And if you begin to build up resentment at the next close, that's going to come through, and that's just a domino effect of the business taking a crash.
So in reality, you're the only person who can answer the question, how much should I be charging? Because it really is up to you. But if you need help figuring out your prices, talk to another person. Talk to somebody else who's maybe familiar with that field. And if you said, well, I thought I would charge $2,000 for this, and you feel like you're really coming up because you used to charge less than that, and they go, what? You're only going to charge that much? Then you might have to realize that you need to overcome whatever internal barriers you have to raising your prices.
Yep, because at the end of the day, this is on you.
And in reality, just so you know, the cost of your item or service really doesn't have much to do with the selling of the item or the service. People are buying you. And so you have to remember that. It's how well you can sell and communicate that to them. That's going to be whether they buy it or not. That extra $100 is really only profit that's out of your pocket. So charge the extra $100. All right, just do what you have to do.
And then deliver what you're worth, which it's rare that we see any of our clients who feel like they're under delivering. Usually they're over delivering and undercharging.
Yep. So hope this helps, and we'll see you next week on the channel. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.